Today, from Portland, Oregon, it's Week 2 of the NFL on EA Sports. As we'll see Marcus Mariota and the Portland Lumberjacks taking on Mitchell Trubisky and the Salt Lake City Elks.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle with their opponents. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods.
The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. Taken at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. As we take a peek at their versatile quarterback, the Hawaii native and former Oregon Duck, Marcus Mariota.
Coming out of Oregon as the Heisman Trophy winner, we thought that this guy was headed towards superstardom, and while he didn't quite reach those heights, he did have some flashes along the way. And right now, his athleticism continues to keep him in the league. Still has a good arm, mobile, a great guy to have in the locker room.
And he's going to lose a yard or two, taken down behind the line. It's Ryan Kerrigan getting the sack. A lot of talk the other day about them wanting to quiet this home crowd early and often. Very first play of the game, they do just that.
You're exactly right about that, because that's often a conversation when you go on the road and you travel. Hey, let's take the crowd out of it. What a great way of doing so by putting the quarterback on the deck.
The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. Here's Mariota. And the catch made by Dontrell Inman. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. Here's Rashad Penny, first carry for the former San Diego State Aztec. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. On play action, Mariota. He'll get this to his speedster, Paul Richardson. And he's brought down.
Oh, that was a pretty route right there, because it's all about finding a window on a route like that. He lined up on his left, ran the deep in route over the middle, and the ball was right where it needed to be. Really good trust between quarterback and receiver. Really good completion.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Off the play fake, Mariota. He finds his man, complete. That's Stanley. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Again, it's Mariota.
And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down.
Mariota from the gun on 3rd down. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out.
That also a career-long kick for the veteran, Charles.
Yeah, how about what he just got done there? We always knew he had a big leg, but how about everything coming together perfectly on that one? Great leg swing, and bang that one through.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by the number 2 overall pick in 2016 from North Carolina, Mitchell Trubisky.
And he certainly had his share of struggles in the opener, threw a couple of ill-timed interceptions in the game. So that was something that was harped upon all week in practice. Because if he's going to help this team be a winning one, he can't give the football away like he did last week.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice gain.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now it's Trubisky. Pressure comes, and down he goes. Jonathan Bostic, credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. How about 5 sacks last week? We just saw their first one of this game.
2nd and 20.
Another try after the first down sack. Trubisky. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Well, this defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. Off the edge, Mario Addison gets the sack.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. It'll be a 39-yard punt, 4 on the return. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive.
Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
A look at the numbers from Penny last week. 18 carries, 75 yards.
As a good start to the season, they got the win, and they were able to establish a good running game. Nothing that just blew people away, but a nice solid base to get things started, and they expect that to get tuned up and get better as the season moves on.
Now Mariota. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Richardson. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
It's hauled in here by Edmond. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. With these run-pass options, we often talk about a good quarterback and running back. Well, having a talented wide receiver helps also.
Yeah, even coming in third in the discussion, sometimes that means he really should be first, because all you want to do is get the ball in their hands and let them make the big plays downfield.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's a give to Penny. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4. Now Mariota. A high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete. And Parkey's kick is good. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the first. So a couple of field goals now. 6-0 our score as the kick's away. Taking it about the 1. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The numbers for Green in last week's ball game: 7 catches, 121 yards.
And I don't know about you, partner, but if anybody ranks me in the top 10 in anything, I'm really happy, and that's exactly where he is now, number 10 in the league in receiving yards.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
From the 44, Trubisky. Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Throwing here, Trubisky. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And he has the 1st down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. Gotta say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. They'll run the draw here with Swift. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. Jonathan Bostic able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. And these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack of Trubisky. Back to throw here.
He's going to get that to Swift underneath.
And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the 1st. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Here is Matt Prater now. He's got the leg for this as he holds the NFL record with a 64-yarder back in 2013. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. So if you like field goals, you've come to the right spot. We've had 3 so far.
But this is a football game, right?
It is.
Now you like that one, huh? You like where I'm going with that? How about that one?
I like it.
Okay, but hey, let's face it. In this game right now, both defenses have responded well. They're trying to hold the line on this. You just wonder if anyone can break through with a touchdown and put some pressure on their opposition.
Well, let's gaze our attention as the offense takes the field on Rashad Penny. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. A handoff to Penny. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, Mariota. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Play action now, Mariota. He finds his man, complete. It's Stanley. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
In today's NFL, we're accustomed to the tight end getting downfield and creating plays and wreaking a little havoc in the secondary. Not on this one, though. They diagnosed that one really well.
Tried the dump off, lost yardage. The offense on 3rd down, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Throwing, Mariota. Over the middle, complete. That's Stanley. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the 1st.
At first glance, I thought he just used his size in order to win the route. But he also had a little subtle move in there as well. Made the defender think he was going one direction. I was able to track the ball in another.
Couple of 1st downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Mariota to throw it. And he finds Danny Amendola. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. They go play action. Mariota. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Shaq Thompson making his presence felt on the sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. 35 yards that time on the punt. Mitchell Trubisky on his way out, the subject of our players' spotlight. What can they do now, Charles, to make sure this highlight montage doesn't continue to show more pressure and pressure and pressure?
You feel like it always comes back to leverage, don't you? Who is going to win that battle of the offensive and defensive lines? Low man wins. We talk about that, but we think about it in a running game. Well, guess what? The same thing happens when you're trying to pass protect. Are you low? Are you balanced? Are you in a position where the pass rush won't bowl you over on their way back to the quarterback? They've got to reestablish that in order to try and keep their man upright.
Because they have been bowled over a lot so far in this one. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. On 2nd down, Swift. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll try and run here with Swift. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. Hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. They bring their punter out there now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and possession will switch hands. 1st and 10.
Portland's offense now about set to take over. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offense coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe someday you press it a little bit. This might be the case.
He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
To throw again on 2nd down. Mariota out to the left there and complete to the tight end Goddard. To throw Mariota. Can't get away, and he's taken down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. Here's A.J. Green as he gets set to go again on offense. You would have to think they're going to make it more of a priority to get him the football. You're losing here in the second quarter, and he's been really quiet.
I think all we have to do, and it's too bad we can't actually see the actual play sheet now from the coordinator, because he's looking down at that and saying, okay, do I put him in different spots? Do I try and isolate him? What routes do I run? You're exactly right. They've got to get the ball in his hands and get their offense kick-started.
He does have the 2 catches, but pretty quiet so far. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as he'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. From the 45 on second down, Trubisky. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down. 3rd and 2. Now Trubisky. He goes right back the way of Hilton. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. Now Trubisky. And that's out to the flat for Swift. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. Again, it's Trubisky. Complete to Hilton. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Now that catch, he just hit number 800 in his NFL career.
And just think, that puts you in top 35 range all time in the NFL in terms of number of catches. One significant guy in that number, Shannon Sharp, who was a tight end. That's big-time play right there.
2nd and 5. Out of the gun, Trubisky finding Green, complete. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. He hit his first. Now this from 43. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that will knot things up here late in the first half.
So they wind up turning the turnover into points as they convert there for 3.
Yeah, that was a nice job there to force the fumble. They recover, hand things over to their offense, and then the offense went down and got them 3. That alone, that's not enough to win a game, but both units able to do their jobs on these last 2 drives.
And we will likely not see another play here as they take the knee and head into the intermission all tied. So we have reached halftime here with not much scoring between these 2 teams. 6-6 our score. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Here's Jonathan Coachman.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll begin up at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, where you see the final score there. Devontae Freeman. Over 100 yards on the afternoon thus far with a touchdown run as well. From there, we head over to the West Coast. Check out the Niners at home at Levi Stadium. And in that one, it's the visiting Dolphins who are out in front. Mike Evans, over 100 yards receiving and a touchdown catch as well. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And that game's all tied up as they play the visiting LA Rams. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been as tight as we expected, all tied through 1 half of play. For the call of the second half, let's get it back to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. All even through 1 half of football as we get back underway in quarter number 3. And he won't quite make it to the 25. And this offense set to go now to begin the 3rd quarter. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic, no need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here's Trubisky. He's got Green. Takes this up just short of the 30, but he was able to avoid that earlier tackle. Nice move.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. On first down, Swift. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45. On 3rd down, Trubisky. Sutton reeling it in on the left side. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
They'll run on first down. Swift. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On the handoff, this is Swift. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7. Now Trubisky to throw. The open man here, Renfro. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Here's a handoff to Swift. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
I know the game's changed. A lot of people would say it's evolved. Look, I'm a little bit Neanderthal, okay? I love this. No exotic formations, no misdirection. Just line up and run the darn ball and pick up the first down. I love it.
Yeah, 3rd and short. That's what you're supposed to do. Like you said, old school, smash mouth football. Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. 1st and 10 right at the 20. From the gun, it's Trubisky. He'll get that into the hands of Tebow. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he could break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Looking to throw again on second down. Trubisky. Throw left side, taken in by Renfro. A kicker fest so far. All points via field goals. They're hoping to change that right here. Here's Swift. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Swift again. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. The ball mere inches from the white line on 3rd and goal. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Elks have taken the lead. Hard to argue with that being their best drive of the game so far as they use the running game to get them into the end zone.
Couldn't agree more, partner. Prior to that drive, they sputtered a little bit, but it looks like they found the formula. I would expect them to go back to that more and more as this game develops.
Now Matt Prater for the point after. And it's up and good to extend the lead to 13-6. And what a drive that was. 16 plays all told. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. Now Amendola. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game. Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half. And that trend is continuing here.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Working out of the gun, Mariota. Caught. It's Dontrell Inman. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that, bro?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield, and then he curls back inside for the completion.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Play fake, Mariota. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. Throwing again, Mariota on 2nd and 10.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
On 3rd down, Mariota. Amendola's got it, complete. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the 1st down marker. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll come on to kick this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. Call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Salt Lake City's offense back onto the field.
And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Trubisky's throw here pulled in by Hilton.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
People worry about throwing.
Into a sea of defenders and intercepted.
Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Cody Parkey is on now for the point after. It's right through, and we are now tied at 13. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. All square now at 13 all as he sends this one away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Back to the air, Trubisky after the pick 6. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. So both teams trade touchdowns in the third as we're through 3 quarters of play. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Running is Swift. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Here's Trubisky to throw. That one complete to Tebow.
So 8 yards on the completion there, and it'll bring up a second down. Now it's Trubisky. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. On first down, Swift. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Once again, it's Swift.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
And that's exactly what offenses try to avoid by using motion and throwing different formations up. They hate when he can draw a bead on the play, get a running start, and make a big play behind the line of scrimmage as he did just there.
This offense so far on 3rd down, 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This will be 3rd and 5.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line.
Portland's offense now about set to take over. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the 4th quarter. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Mariota now. Dumps that off to Penny as running back. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Penny, a first down carry. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34.
40 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
And partner, in a tie game in the fourth quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars. And he came through with a nice catch right there.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Now Rashad Penny. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Mariota now to throw on first down. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
From the red zone now, Mariota. And it's caught here, Amendola. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Throwing again on 2nd down. Mariota.
He'll get this out wide to Penny.
And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover it?
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Ryan Kerrigan picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Mariota eluding the pressure right. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
He'll decide to keep this once more.
And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. 4th down now after a loss of 2. So on comes the kicker, Cody Parkey, in a big spot. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. And they're looking at 4th down now in this tie ball game. The kick by Parkey is good. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
Trubisky readies the offense. down 16-13. A minute 53 remaining. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down. Now it's Trubisky.
He'll drop this one off to Swift.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that'll make it second down. Trubisky to throw.
Finding Sutton.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Trubisky's throw pulled in by Renfro.
You can almost feel Trubisky saying, let's get to the line and hurry up.
Trubisky's throw pulled in by Tebow.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Here's Trubisky.
And oh, that one nearly intercepted. That would have sealed it. Instead, it'll be second down.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Trubisky. Going for Hilton, and it's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. And they will finally get to him, but a great return has set him up 1st and goal at the 5.
Well, you knew you had to take some chances here with the clock winding down, needing a touchdown to win it, and that one might have just sealed their fate.
Yeah, and that's the nature of the 2-minute drill. The offense trying to go downfield and make their plays. But defenses, they're sitting back watching everything that they do, but not too far back. They want to be in position to make a play on the ball, and that they did.
It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. They'll try and run forward with Penny. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Penny will try to punch it in. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you've still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
For the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
Mitchell Trubisky on his way out, the subject of our players' spotlight. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward.
He's going to get that to Swift underneath. And he's got a first down to the 40-yard line, but the clock runs.
Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go.
Trubisky's throw taken in by Sutton.
And you can almost feel Trubisky saying, let's get to the line and hurry up. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. Trubisky to throw again. Now a desperation throw deep downfield.
And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Throwing here, Trubisky. He's going to let it fly.
And that'll be incomplete. They took their shot, but the coverage up to the task, and it forces a 4th down.
One last shot for Trubisky. Now a desperation throw deep downfield.
And that one a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
So plenty of smiles for the folks here as they head for the exits. It's a victory for their hometown guys, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for Portland, they used a favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for Salt Lake City, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll get a home date next week against the Minnesota Vikings. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.